My name is Brittany Cubes, and I chose to do a dynamic movement or a dyno in rock climbing. A dyno can be used when a rock climber cannot reach a specific hold during their route or their problem that they're trying to attempt when climbing. Or it can also be used as a tactical movement if their specific area is too complicated and they would wish to conserve energy. Officially called a dyno, at one point in time the whole rock climber's body was completely suspended in the air when jumping. In other words, the rock climber's body must lose contact with the surface of the wall. The goal I set for my participant was to complete a 3-foot dyno 2 out of 10 attempts. Originally, it was a 3-foot dyno on a straight up wall, but when the participant is too tall, it is too easy for them to just merely stand up and reach the finish hold. So I moved it into a 3-foot overhang dyno to make it more complicated for my participant. In the pre-taping session, my participant was barely able to pull himself up onto the rocks into the starting position, let alone reach the finish hold. He was trying to use his arms too much to generate enough force to bring his body up to the finish hold rather than using his legs. In the preparation phase, 2 key elements are hanging back in your arms and keeping your core tight. When a climber hangs back on their arms, this helps conserve potential energy, and by removing the center of gravity back away from their arms and preventing their arms from being pumped from an isometric contraction of holding their body close to the wall. By conserving energy, they save more energy to help generate power from their legs during the force phase. In the follow-through phase, 2 important key elements are to grab the hold quickly and confidently and to get both legs back on the wall. By grabbing the holds quickly and confidently, a climber can prevent their body from being pulled off the wall. As the climber reaches the hold and grabs on with usually one hand at first, the body's linear momentum from jumping can turn into angular momentum as one half of their body stops rotating and becomes the axis which the rest of the body tries to rotate around. One of the main faults my participant showed was that he would try to use his arms to create enough force to bring his body up to the finish hold. By using his arms and not his legs, he wasn't able to generate enough force. Therefore, we practiced traversing drills to teach the participant to use his legs more to support his body weight and to create the force which would bring him up the wall. We also taught him proper jumping technique and practiced being used to using his legs rather than his arms jumping. A second fault my climber used was that he would not lean back on his arms enough to take the weight off his arms, and therefore he would get his arms would be pumped out or from the isometric contraction and lose strength over time as he would get tired. A third fault that my climber showed was that he didn't fully commit to the dyno. My climber would hesitate at times for fear of falling, and he would not release both hands from the dyno at the same time as he would create the force and thrust with his legs. This would cause a slowdown and dispersal of the force he created, and therefore not allow him to reach the final finish hold.
In my prime. You have to do it all together. Yes.
During the post video, my climber was unable to attain the goal that was set at the beginning of the project. He was unable to do so, possibly because he was not fully committed to jumping and he would still be hesitant about completing the jump, and therefore would not release both hands at all times, and sometimes would not apply enough force to his legs to reach the height. Another improvement would be to improve overall strength so that way the climber could create more power and therefore jump higher. But the time allotted for this project would not allow for the climber to be able to improve his strength enough to actually make a difference.